Some of the greatest creative minds in history have left behind works that were never finished. Were they abandoned, forgotten, or simply lost to time? Today, we dive into the fascinating world of unfinished masterpieces, works of art, music, and literature that remain forever incomplete, shrouded in mystery. Imagine composing one of the most beautiful and haunting symphonies in history, only to stop halfway through. That's exactly what happened with Symphony No. 8 in B minor, commonly known as Schubert's Unfinished Symphony. Franz Schubert wrote the first two movements in 1822. They are deeply expressive, blending moments of dramatic intensity with quiet melancholy. But then, nothing. He never completed the final two movements. Why? Some believe he abandoned it due to illness. Schubert suffered from syphilis, which would claim his life at the young age of 31. Others think he simply moved on to new compositions, leaving behind one of the greatest mysteries in classical music. Scholars have even speculated that sketches of a third movement exist, but none were ever orchestrated. Regardless of the reason, the Unfinished Symphony remains a powerful and enigmatic piece, proving that sometimes incompleteness can be just as compelling as a finished masterpiece. Leonardo da Vinci, the ultimate Renaissance genius, was notorious for starting works and never finishing them. Many of his projects remain incomplete, frozen in time as glimpses of his extraordinary mind. One of the most famous is the Adoration of the Magi. This large painting was commissioned in 1481, but Leonardo left it in an unfinished state when he moved to Milan. The underpainting reveals a chaotic yet fascinating composition, one that still captures attention despite its lack of color and refinement. Even his most celebrated work, the Mona Lisa, is suspected to be unfinished. Art historians believe Leonardo continued tweaking and refining the painting for years, never officially declaring it done. Perhaps his pursuit of perfection was his greatest obstacle. He was known to obsess over details, working slowly and methodically, sometimes abandoning pieces altogether, but perhaps that's part of his genius. His unfinished works allow us to see his creative process frozen in time. Charles Dickens, the master of intricate plots and unforgettable characters, left behind one of literature's greatest mysteries, the mystery of Edwin Drood. This novel was meant to be a dark, complex detective story. It follows young Edwin Drood, who mysteriously disappears, leaving behind a trail of questions. Is he dead? Was he murdered? If so, who was responsible? Unfortunately, Dickens never finished writing the book. In June 1870, he died suddenly of a stroke, leaving the mystery of Edwin Drood without a conclusion. Readers have spent over a century speculating on how it was meant to end. Some believe Dickens left behind notes revealing the final twist, but others argue that the ending remains unknowable. Over the years, different writers have attempted to complete it, but none can truly match Dickens's distinctive style. This story remains a literary enigma, one that invites readers to become detectives themselves, piecing together the clues Dickens left behind. Stanley Kubrick, the visionary director behind 2001, A Space Odyssey, A Clockwork Orange, and The Shining, had an obsession: Napoleon Bonaparte. For years, Kubrick researched every detail of Napoleon's life. He wrote a 200-page script, collected over 15,000 research documents, and even scouted filming locations across Europe. His plan was to make the most ambitious historical epic ever created, but the film was never made. Studios deemed it too expensive, and after the box office failure of Another Napoleon-themed movie, Waterloo, Kubrick's project was shelved indefinitely. What could have been one of the greatest films in history now exists only in script form. Kubrick's meticulous research and detailed production notes remain, giving us a tantalizing glimpse into the film that never was. There's a chilling belief in classical music known as the curse of the Ninth Symphony. It suggests that composers who attempt to write a 10th symphony will not live to complete it. The most famous victim of this supposed curse? Ludwig van Beethoven. He completed 9 symphonies, but before he could finish a 10th, he died. Franz Schubert? Same fate. Antonin Dvorak? He only made it to 9. Gustav Mahler, who was aware of the curse, even tried to avoid it by naming his 9th symphony something else. It didn't work. He passed away before finishing his next piece. Is this just a strange coincidence, or is there something eerie at play? Whatever the case, the legend of the 9th Symphony curse still lingers in the classical music world. Unfinished masterpieces hold a certain power. They invite us to wonder, to speculate, and to imagine what could have been. Some artists abandoned their works, while others were stopped by fate. But in many ways, these incomplete creations have a beauty of their own, offering a glimpse into the minds of their creators, frozen in time. What do you think? Should we try to finish these lost works, or should they remain as they are, mysterious, incomplete, and forever intriguing? Let us know in the comments below.